Today is day 276. That's the way it was this morning. This will be day 5 of my wilderness journey. By this time, I will be prodding my traveling companions out of their sleeping bags. I will be boiling water for breakfast and waiting for the sun to come up. I will be reminded of the first chapter of Edward Abbey's Desert Solitaire. Here's a passage from that chapter. Standing there, gaping at this monstrous and inhuman spectacle of rock and cloud and sky and space, I feel a ridiculous greed and possessiveness come over me. I want to know it all, possess it all, embrace the entire scene intimately, deeply, totally, as a man desires a beautiful woman. An insane wish? Perhaps not. At least there is nothing else, no one human to dispute possession with me. The snow-covered ground glimmers with a dull blue light, reflecting the sky and the approaching sunrise. Leading away from me, the narrow dirt road, an alluring and primitive track into nowhere, meanders down the slope and toward the heart of the labyrinth of naked stone. Near the first group of arches, looming over a bend in the road, is a balanced rock about 50 feet high, mounted on a pedestal of equal height. It looks like a head from Easter Island, a stone god or a petrified ogre. Like a god, like an ogre, the personification of the nature of the natural is exactly the tendency I wish to suppress in myself, to eliminate for good. I am here not only to evade for a while the clamor and filth and confusion of the cultural apparatus, but also to confront immediately and directly, if it's possible, the bare bones of existence, the elemental and fundamental, the bedrock which sustains us. I want to be able to look at and into a juniper tree, a piece of quartz, a vulture, a spider, and see it as it is in itself, devoid of all humanly ascribed qualities, anti-Kantian, even the categories of scientific description. To meet God or Medusa face to face, even if it means risking everything human in myself. I dream of a hard and brutal mysticism in which the naked self merges with the non-human world and yet somehow survives still intact, individual, separate, paradox, and better. Well, the sun will be up in a few minutes, and I haven't even begun to make coffee. I take more baggage from my pickup, the grub box, and cooking gear, go back into the trailer, and start breakfast. Simply breathing in a place like this arouses the appetite. The orange juice is frozen, the milk slushy with ice. Still chilly enough inside the trailer to turn my breath to vapor. When the first rays of the sun strike the cliffs, I fill a mug with steaming coffee and sit in the doorway, facing the sunrise, hungry for the warmth. Suddenly it comes, the flaming globe, blazing on the pinnacles and minarets and balanced rocks, on canyon walls and through the windows in the sandstone fins. We greet each other, sun and I, across the black void of 93 million miles. The snow glitters between us, acres of diamonds, almost painful to look at. Within an hour, all the snow exposed to sunlight will be gone, and the rock will be damp and steaming. Within minutes, even as I watch, melting snow begins to drip from the branches of a juniper nearby. Drops of water streak slowly down the side of the trailer house. I am not alone after all. 3 ravens are wheeling near the balanced rock, squawking at each other, and at the dawn, I am sure they're as delighted by the return of the sun as am I, and I wish I knew their language. I'd soon exchange ideas with the birds on Earth and to learn to carry on intergalactic communications with some obscure race of humanoids on a satellite planet from the world of Betelgeuse. First things first, the ravens cry out in husky voices, blue-blacked wings flapping against the golden sky. Over my shoulder comes the sizzle and smell of frying bacon. That's the way it was this morning.